To sustain, to nourish, to thrive. These are essential tenets of the human condition. And I'm here today at the offices of Mahindra Susten to understand what it takes to nourish a business, to sustain it, to make it thrive in the face of so many challenges. So come with me today in our episode of C-Suite Conversations as I catch up with Deepak Thakur, who's the MD and CEO. Let's dive into conversation. Marksmen Daily presents C-Suite Conversations. Hello and welcome to this episode of C-Suite Conversations. With me is my guest in today's episode, Mr. Deepak Thakur, who is the MD and CEO of Mahindra Susten. Mr. Thakur, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today on this rainy, balmy Monday morning.
Thank you so very much, Karan, for having me here and look forward to this conversation.
So, Mr. Thakur, we were speaking off camera a little bit about the importance to you and generally about authenticity when you bring yourself to the workplace. Talk to me a little bit about that, about what it means to you.
I guess more than it meaning to me, I believe it's a part of me. I remember my first review with my first boss, PRV Pillai in L&T. I remember Mr. Pillai telling me, Deepak, you know what, you need to put on your work mask. You need to have a facade on.
Okay.
Every time you interact with anyone, myself or my team members or anyone in the group, they can see what you feel, what it's very visible. And I looked at Mr. Pillai and I said, Mr. Pillai, but that's me. He said, Deepak, you'll not make it further ahead in life if you kind of show your true emotions. And somehow in my head, I said, no, I think that's not the way I am. And I guess two things happened because of it. One is obviously anyone that you're relating to, work, friends, family, I think the connect which you can make is genuine.
Yeah.
And I think that's something which is unmatchable. And the second is, I feel good within. Because I am not double guessing myself. I am not kind of thinking, oh, what did I do? What should I do? It just comes naturally. So for me, it's authenticity has actually worked professionally and personally. And I guess all of us should practice it. It makes life much more, as I say, it keeps your backpack light. You don't need to have any rocks in it.
So, Mr. Thakur, over the 3 decades or so that you mentioned of your career, you've had diverse experiences across industries. What are some of the defining moments that have shaped your own leadership philosophy?
I would say 2 moments in my life. One, I think, is my journey into renewables. And I think it's something personal which I'm stating here, which is my elder daughter, this was 2008. She was about 9 years old. Weekends I was sitting and seeing the National Geographic or I was seeing the Discovery Channel, and I remember my child asking me, because we were seeing the polar caps melting and the pieces of ice falling into the ocean, and she asked me, Papa, what's this? And I tried explaining to the 9-year-old what it meant, and she asked me, what can we do? Can it be stopped and what we can do? So I was telling my child that, save water, save electricity, don't waste. Things like that. Don't throw plastic and waste and stuff like that. And she imbibed that. Then she looked at me and she said, Papa, you're a boss. What can you do more? And that question just snubbed me. Was I doing enough? Maybe I wasn't. I surely wasn't. And I think 6 months after that, I was with 𝐂𝐬𝐿 earlier. And 6 months later, I got a call from Unni. And he said, let's have a beer. And he said, we are starting a solar business and we want you to come back. I think it was something which just fell in place. I could remember that conversation on the Sunday afternoon with my child and this call or discussion on Unni, and I just took it up. It meant me coming back to 𝐂𝐬𝐿 with a salary cut, but I did it and that's how my journey in 2009, May, into renewables happened. And I've been in this journey since the last 16 years now. So I think that afternoon seeing television with my child did kind of help me make a decision to move into renewables. So for me, that's one of the most important moments for me. And the second moment, I think for me was my conversation with, again, the same gentleman, Mr. Unni Krishnan. I had been earlier in marketing, in sales, I had done strategy.
Right.
And this was 2006, I would say 2005, December. And he said, Deepak, enough of strategy and corporate planning. You need to get into the thick of things. And let's get you into that. And he actually brought me into leading the channel business of 𝐂𝐬𝐿. And that's where I think I moved into the cost or the P&L side of things. And then since 2005 onwards, I think I've been in terms of conceiving businesses, building teams, running P&Ls, managing stakeholders, shareholders, boards, investors. So I think that's the journey we started. So had only not pushed me in that conversation to say enough of what you're doing and now let's move into the thick of things, I would not have perhaps seen this side of the corporate world. So yeah.
So you touched upon the importance of strategy, Mr. Thakur, but even beyond that, when it comes to instilling the kind of values, the kind of mindsets, the kind of leadership practices needed to really foster innovation and resilience, how do you set about doing that at Mahindra Susten?
I guess first of all for me, business, and I've always tried to live this by this conviction that successful businesses, great businesses aren't about the best strategy, they aren't about the best products, they aren't about the best access to resources. It's always people. When I walked into Sustain on 1st April 2022, it was a very strong business, very strong legacy, but was going through a major shift. There was a change in the leadership, there was a change in the business direction, and there was a need to rejuvenate the business to move into to its really true potential, I would say. The market opportunities were humongous, so obviously things were working for us. However, there was a legacy, positive, and there were some elements which were not as positive. So when I walked in, obviously there was a very strong team, the second line, I would say even the top 30, the top 40, very strong, potent team members, high on competency, experience, right attitude. I needed to come on board and actually invest with each one of them to understand what makes them tick, what are their apprehensions, what are their concerns. So obviously I think that's where I spent my time. And that one-to-one connect, I think in a way established two things for me, even for them, is where belief and trust started to build. And once you see belief and trust starting to build on both the sides, you start sharing and you start opening out things were otherwise which were not, possibly available in terms of information to me or to them. That being said, it's not always about just those one-to-one conversations. It's also, I believe, it's always about whether you walk the talk. I guess all that adds up. I think I'm a leader who clearly says I don't know it all. There are people in the room who know it better than me, and it's my job to make sure that I get them to speak.
It's just important to not be the smartest person in the room at all times.
I absolutely don't believe I'm the smartest person. I'm a daughter. I have two daughters. One is 19, one is 26, and they keep reminding me how I am not.
Actually, they're at that age right now.
So I think I'm smart enough now to know that I'm not smart. But I think that's right. I think coming back, I think it's people, and each one of us has this yearning to be noticed, to be appreciated, to be heard, and to be mentored and to be kind of supported. So I think if we are able to do that meaningfully, you create firepower together.
Mr. Thakur, looking externally as well, when you're talking about the kind of partnerships or the investment decisions that have to be taken, how do you then look at it as not just a purely business decision, and try to look at it from a more long-term lens to try to create long-term impact? The way you're talking about creating this more than business approach internally, how do you do that externally as well with your partners or your decisions that you take for investments?
Again, over here, and that works well for me, is the fact that I think I do have patience. Is where if you're looking towards a goal, it needs to be a step at a time. And this again has been imbibed in me because I've seen my colleagues, my team members, my seniors do this so effectively. So, and at the foundation of this again is the fact that is there credibility, is there trust, is there belief in that relationship. So when I walk to anyone on my board, or if I have to walk to any of my shareholders, I have to kind of go out and seek any kind of decision from my investors. I think first of all, I need to kind of establish my credibility. To give you a simple instance, and I think that's which helped me, is the fact that, and this is something which I want to share, is that after 3 years of sustained not bidding, I think it was January 2023 that we put on the first bid.
Okay.
It's a reverse auction. We bid for government contracts or power purchase agreements, 25-year contracts. So you bid for a tariff.
Yeah.
And the board or the IC, the investment committee, gives you a floor. And we had kind of presented our case and we had got a floor. We were in the reverse auction process. The few people in the room that we were together, 3-4 of us, we knew that if we went a paise down, we could win. A paise down.
Just 1 paisa?
1 paise down. So the call taken in the room was no. I took the call in the room saying that the IC has given an approval for X. We will not go a paise below. And the messaging in the room was, we will negotiate it, we'll do something, we can get the cost down here, we can do this, we can do that. I mean, obviously, let's go win now and we will make sure that we give the confidence to the board and the IC that we can achieve this or we can even do better. And perhaps that was true. However, I think the principle for me in my head was that no, this is what we took a position or we got this and we will stick by that. We lost. I remember walking out into our hall out of the reverse auction room and there were 150, 160 people waiting to hear positive news, but there wasn't. We did a town hall and we did share with them that we lost. And of course, there was a hush in the room and shoulders dropped. And I said only one thing, that we will learn from this and we will make sure that the next one we win. And we did win the next one in April 23. That being said, that established credibility. When we shared this news, when I picked up the phone and spoke to the IC, obviously I was crestfallen and I fell down as a leader of the team. All of them said, no, what he did was absolutely right. You stuck to whatever was approved by the IC. I know it was difficult, each one of them said, but they stuck to the principle and you stuck. And that's somewhere, I believe, that loss became our win. Because suddenly the credibility of the team, of myself as a leader, got reinforced. So I would say that this is how, when you have to go and take decisions, when people go back to these things, that in a situation where it was a choice to be made, the leader took a decision on the to be more conservative than to be more aggressive. And I think that's how, and which was a more difficult decision to take.
Yes, no doubt.
That's how credibility gets built. And then over that, you do whatever. You keep making sure, bad news first. Anish clearly in his first conversation told me, and I think that completely resonates with me. We like to share good news, but you know what? If something's going wrong, please let me know first so that I can help you. So I think clearly that's how, when you have to take big decisions, ask for big investments, it's brick by brick. How have you gone? And then when you really go out and seek the big bucks, that seems to be a small decision as compared to these ones, because these have already created a path for you, which simply goes and makes that very much plausible.
And of course, before I let you go, Mr. Thakur, it would be amiss if I didn't ask you to offer some words of wisdom to leaders, to professionals that would stand them in good stead for their own professional careers.
So I think first, I want to not talk to just leaders, but anyone who's in the work environment, is the fact that we have this whole challenging question that gets posed about work-life balance. And it's maybe cliche, but I think I have never had to ask myself that question for 33 years. And that's simply because of the fact that I've loved what I've done. So when you love what you do and it becomes a part of you, I think it's absolutely, there is no difference in a way. And it shows. It shows in terms of what you're able to bring to the office on a Monday morning or on a Friday evening, or any other time for that matter.
Perfect. Mr. Thakur, thank you so much for chatting with us today. It was fantastic having you with us.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
As India accelerates its clean energy ambitions, leaders like Deepak Thakur are showing that they can show a way forward with authenticity, with conviction, and with innovation. And it shows that a purpose-driven leadership style is a must to progress the planet and to deliver sustainability, and that the two can and often must go hand in hand. Thank you for watching this episode of C-Suite Conversations. I do hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.